Hey guys, what's up? This is Dr. And today I want to give my opinion about 6.2, the good, the bad, and the ugly. So let's dive into it. First things first, let's look at the good things. Hellfire Citadel. I think Hellfire Citadel personally is freaking amazing. I think the most boring fight so far is the Assault because it's a really simple fight. Still, it makes sense that you assaulting the citadel, so I understand why it's there. I think that's the least interesting one, but so far I've down 7 bosses right now, and I'm having a blast. There's so much to do. We got single target fights, we got cleave fights, we got AoE fights, we have if we need to deal with ads, we have kill order priorities, we have interrupt priorities, we have a lot of movement to be done. Ishkar is great with passing the eye, which reminded me back at Lady Vash. If you done Lady Vash's current content, you needed to pass a orb or whatever it was called. I don't remember the name, but you had to pass it, so it reminded me of Vash. Gorfiend is a really fun fight. I'm having a blast. If you're a raider, in 6.2 you're fine because Hellfire Citadel is freaking amazing. I've watched the other fights and there's so many good fights in there, and so it's a blast. The boss designs are looking awesome, and the fights itself are great. So yeah, GG for Hellfire Citadel. Dungeons, let's talk about dungeons. The mythic dungeons, I really like them. I think it's really good that the difficulty went up. I'm kind of sad to see that there are not new mechanics, at least not as I could see or remember. I couldn't remember that I saw anything new, but I think it's great because it's actually it's pointed. The dungeon can't punish you on mythic difficulty, and that's what I want to see. If you screw up, you will die, and that's a good thing because it will make you a better player, especially for players who are new in World of Warcraft or just started or came back after a long period or just started to get into the PvE. The mythic dungeons will teach you a lot about movement, about dealing with certain mechanics, and if you stay in that in fire and shit and do other dumb stuff, you will die, and that's actually how it should be. So I think that's really good. I like the fact that they upgraded the gear it drops. Still, I think the boss is dropping way too much gear, and there's still little chance that you get your gear, but hey, that's another discussion. However, even though I love the mythic dungeons, I would rather see new dungeons. I will make a separate video about that. Which new dungeons I thought that would be implemented here, which would be good in this patch, which would fix nicely. I rather seen 3 new dungeons, but well, Blizzard decided not to do that, which I think it's kind of still lazy, whatever they're saying. It's still lazy, but these mythic dungeons are perfect. Well, perfect, they're really good. I like that they're here. The other thing I want to say about it is that even though there are mythic dungeons, I would like to see that there are only 2 difficulties of dungeons. I would like us to have normal dungeons, which we do during leveling, and that these mythic dungeons would be the heroic difficulty. So now we have 3 layers of difficulty, and it should be actually just 2, just normals for leveling, and then they're actually viable at level 100 to use the normal dungeons to gear up to getting those heroic if the heroic dungeons are on mythic difficulty. So yeah, I think that a bigger step would be better for a lot of players, and better for the community as well, because you have to set up your own groups, which I really love that you have to make your own group, go back to the summon stone, go summon people. I really like that. So yeah, I would like to see the current heroic removed and the mythic being the new heroic dungeons. But for the rest, yeah, I'm fine with it. The time walking dungeons. Let's talk about the time walking dungeons for a bit. I think they're a big disappointment. I've been a player since vanilla. I've done the Burning Crusade dungeons on heroic and the Radaliskin dungeons when it was current content, and I'm really disappointed by it because I had a shitload of good memories in the Burning Crusade. Those dungeons were fucking hard. They were harder than the current mythic dungeons, and right now people are doing them and saying like, hey, you Burning Crusade people, you must be looked at these dungeons through rose-tinted goggles, or you must just be bad because these dungeons are fucking easy. No, my friend, they were fucking hard, but Blizzard dumbed them down, and they're just boring as hell. There is no challenge in that, and the thing I don't like is that when they are up, you have to do them, otherwise you won't get that extra bonus roll. So I'm kind of feeling forced into that. Even that, I don't like them because they're phase roll. I can smash my head against my keyboard and I will still get the kills and clear the dungeon. So I think that's a complete waste. I think Blizzard didn't put any effort into it. I think it's boring as hell. And if you bring time walking dungeons back, either do it good or don't bring them back at all. That's my opinion about it. So yeah, what else? Let's talk a little bit about PvP. I've talked to a couple of players. I did Ashran on my warrior. And I did Ashran in the start of what is it, Drenner, and after 4 or 5 days I was pretty sick of it because the queue was like an hour, sometimes an hour and a half, and then I'm on the alliance, so we would win Ashran with 2 fingers up our nose and just get the gear and then get the fuck out. There's absolutely no balance in that, and now Blizz put in some new objectives, and my question to so I quitted PvP for that reason because I thought it was boring as hell. And I talked to some players and asked some players about it who are still PvPing in my guild, saying, "Hey, what's your opinion about Ashran right now? When I played, it was boring as hell, and there are new objectives. So what's up?" And they're saying it's still boring as hell. It's like, yeah, well, we can go into a cave now and we can go kill stuff there, but it's still worthless. The balance is completely gone. It's more PvE than PvP. Alliance is always winning, Horde is always losing. There are barely any Horde players ever joining Ashran anymore because they won't win anyway. And the queue is way too long. I mean, at my battle group it's like 1 to 1.5 hours. I've heard some people talk about 2 and even 3 hours for a queue. And you basically need Ashran to gear up. You can gear up through Battlegrounds, but it takes way longer. And the PvP balance right now between Alliance and Horde is completely gone due all to the racials not being fixed, and there's nothing done about this patch. And even though we're getting mythic dungeons and a new raid and all that kind of stuff, there are again no new battlegrounds and no new arenas for PvP players. So a lot of PvP players are really angry and upset and are having a really bad time on Wallace the Runner. And I'm feeling you guys. I mean, I love my warrior so much. I was like, I'm going to get into PvP with this warrior. I have the season 1 blue set fully, and I had some couple of epics in there, but I was bored after all being farming Ashran and doing some arenas I've done over and over and over again. I was like, fuck it, I can't be arsed anymore. So I completely understand you guys, and I'm feeling for you, seriously. So what's up next? Tanaan Jungle. Let's talk about Tanaan Jungle. First things first, Tanaan Jungle, the graphic design by the art department is really good. I like how Hellfire Citadel is there. And is really fucked up by big badass Gul'dan. I like the way it looks. I like the big puddle of fell corruption flowing down from the mountain, and I have no problems with that. I think it's looking pretty okay. It looks pretty badass. But the dailies, I don't know, man. I don't want to try to flame too much, but Ian Hescosis, what the fuck? Let's go back to the latest Q&A, okay, with Ian Hescosis. That people asked him about the Apex Crystal daily. Everybody was bored of it, everybody was tired of it, and nobody wants to do it again. And he said, yeah, in Mists of Pandaria we had all these dailies and they were way too linear because they told you what to do, when to do, and how to do it. And we wanted to make a daily which you guys could decide how to do it, but it turned out to be a complete mob grind, and it didn't work out the way we wanted to. But we fixed it in 6.2. It's going to be way better, so don't worry about it. We've learned from our mistakes. That's his words, not mine. It's his words. And I'm coming to Tanaan Jungle, and then you pick up that daily quest from the I'm on the Alliance side, the whatever it's called. I don't even the Alliance Hill, whatever the fuck's called. I don't even know the name. And then you go to the mission table. You pick it up that daily, and then you have to grind a bar. Just fill up a bar, go to, like 3 places you can go to place A, B, or C, go kill a lot of shit, and then you finish that quest, and then you come back, and there are 2 more dailies. Oh wow, you unlocked 2 more dailies, what's up? Again, get 2 bonus objectives. That's 2 more Apex Crystal bars farming. And go kill 20 demons, or 20 orcs, or whatever the fuck it is. It's one big grind, Ian Hescosis. And I remember Ian Haskell saying that we really came a long way from grinding Verbolgs at level 60. No, you haven't. You actually made it worse, Ian Haskell, because those Verbolgs were just, that was just a grinding thing if you wanted to get that rep up to Exalted or Referred, whatever was your cup of tea, but it was just there for the fun's sake, and there was no gear or no reward. There was no reward hidden behind that reputation table. I've did it for 3 days of Verbolgs in vanilla. I was like, I can't be honest, this is not my cup of tea. And remember, in vanilla, we didn't have achievements if you get it Exalted with a reputation. That came back in the second patch in Burning Crusade. Could be the third, don't quote me on that. I think it's the second patch in Burning Crusade, which we got, then we got achievements for the first time in World of Warcraft. So back in the day, it was only personal for yourself. There was no loot behind it, there was no mount behind it, there was nothing. Ian Estacosis, you made it worse. You made it worse than the Apexis Crystal Daily we had in 6.0 and 6.1. Because you're forcing us to grind 3 bars and at least kill 20 demons and 20 orcs every fucking day. And before people say, but Dark, the dailies are not mandatory. Hell, yes they are. Well, they're not entirely mandatory, but you still will get punished. That's what I'm saying. Behind the Verbolg's reputation, it was for fun sakes, and there was nothing, no reward hidden behind that reputation. But if you don't do those dailies, you won't get flying. You won't get the mount, you won't get flying in Wallace Adrenaline. Guilty of Mine said, fuck it, I'm done. There is nowhere to fly in Wallace Adrenaline anyway. The flight parts are pretty good, and the traveling time is like 1 or 2 minutes max if you use Avianus Feather as well. I can't be honest, there's nowhere to fly to. I'm not gonna do them anymore. Good for you, bro, seriously. Thumbs up to my guilty because he's like, fuck it, there's nothing to do. I'm not going to fly anywhere. So, but if you do want to have the mount, if you do want to have flying, you need to do them. There is a punishing system in that. Don't do the dailies, that's fine, but we will take something away from you. It's the same with Mist of Pandaria. Mist of Pandaria, where Blizzard said the dailies are not mandatory, but if you did not do them, you will, your professions would suck. If you were an enchanter and you wanted to have the best weapon enchants and the best wrist enchant, you had to have certain factions on the Revert and I think one on Exalted, otherwise you could not buy those patterns for enchanting. Same for blacksmithing, same for leatherworking, same for tailoring. So shit was locked behind reputation bars, and Blizzard said, yeah, it's not mandatory, but still you would get punished if you didn't get those reputations by doing dailies, and they're still forcing you to do them. If you don't do the dailies in Tanaan Jungle, we'll take something away from you, in this case flying. If you don't want to fly in Wallace Adrenaline, you're gonna be fine, and if you don't want to fly in Wallace Adrenaline, fuck off with it. Don't do the dailies, man. Seriously, fuck the dailies, because they're so boring. They're so freaking boring. I think it's the worst thing in Tanaan Jungle is the new daily system, and I really hate them. Especially those fucking targets which you have to grind, because you can only do a quest once a week, and the rest you have to just go kill them. And you need a reputation to get. You need to get 3 reputations to get reversed, so you actually need. For flying, so you actually need to go do them, and I just need to go kill tigers in a certain area of the Tanaan Jungle and do my dailies. It's boring as hell, and I'm really pissed off about it, as you can tell. I think it's a big letdown. The shipyard, let's talk about the shipyard, another rage about the dailies. The shipyard is, okay, it looks good. I like the way it looks. For me as an Alliance player, I like the fact that when my ships went on a mission, and those ships returned and I'm logging in again and I'm going to my shipyard, then I see my boats in my harbor, in my shipyard. I like that. I'm like, wow, I have 4 or 5 boats right now. That means that the missions, they come back from the missions and it looks cool. It looks cool that the boats are actually in your harbor when the mission is done. That being said though, it's not a command table. Ian Hestecosis during the last Q&A he said, yeah, we learned from the garrison that people don't like the command table. The risk and reward system is not working. The rewards are way too high. It's really boring. People don't like it, but they feel mandatory to do it. Again, you guys feel mandatory. I feel mandatory to check it out and do. Is there any gear I can use from that? Because then I still need to check it. So that's the thing. But Blizzard, he said we learn from that and we make things different in 6.2. And You didn't. Ian Heskers, you said things will be different. No, you didn't. You just made another command table, but now not with followers, but with ships. But it's mandatory once more, because if you don't do them, you won't get your legendary ring. So you are forcing us to do something that turn out that players do not like. And I know that players have been shouting out like, put us on the ship, let us go on our ships, let's sail somewhere, and let us being a part of the ship, like the ICC boat fight. There was one of the, they could have done something like that, make it interactive, get on a boat, go to a orc boat if you're Alliance, use the rocket pack to jump and do certain things there so that your boat can finish off the other boat. Stuff like that. Make it interactive, make it fun. No, it's another mission table. That's it, and it's boring as hell and nobody likes it. So what is going to happen here? People are gonna do the following. They're gonna do it until they have the legendary ring. And when they have the legendary ring, they're gonna stop doing it. Maybe they're gonna take a look at it to see, hey, does it drop any gear? Do I have chance on the gear? No? Okay, fuck it, I'm not gonna do anything with it. And at some point people are gonna be that gear that they don't need the gear that drops in there, and they're like, fuck off. I'm progressing Mythic by myself or Heroic or whatever you guys progress. I'm like, I don't need gear from that. And then if you're doing Mythic at some point and you're like, yeah, I don't need gear from it anymore, so I can't be arsed to do the shipyard anymore. And I completely agree with you guys. If you at some point you get the legendary ring, you're fuck off. I'm not gonna do this shipyard. Go away. And because it's not a boring thing, it's another command table, and that's it. So to basically summarize all things talking about here, what is great about this patch? There are two things great. Hellfire Citadel is amazing. It seriously is so much fun. Mythic Dungeons, yeah, I'm completely fine with them. I like them. They're a big thumbs up for me. I'd rather have seen new dungeons, but they're pretty good. All the other things are completely useless in my opinion. This is a really big letdown in the 6.2 patch, and that's why my title is 6.2 fail. Yeah, I think this is a fail patch. Look at any patch in World of Warcraft, and I think any patch had more content. I think maybe the only one who didn't have more content was 5.4. Because it was 14 months long and it didn't have that much except for a new raid. But I think that's about it. And 5.4 was basically the worst patch ever. But that raid wasn't way as good. I mean, 5.4, the raid was worse than the Hellfire Citadel. But nonetheless, this is one of the worst patches ever. We're not getting new content. And well, we do get new content, but the content we get forced into doing daily is really boring. It's a really big letdown, and I'm completely not happy with it. Only if you're a raider, and luckily I am a raider, you're gonna have a good time. And if you're not a raider, man, I'm feeling for you. I'm seriously. If you're a PvP player, my heart goes out to you. And if you're just a casual player who just likes to do fun stuff and WoW, I think you have to go to do old content because there is nothing else to do. And I'm really feeling for you guys, and I think we're getting forced into shit we shouldn't. Blizzard said we learned from things and they didn't. So I think this is a really bad patch and I heard as well, it got confirmed that it's the last patch, and we'll make a different video about that. And that's even worse, that we only have two patches, with 6.1 being a patch with only a selfie cam and a music box. And 6.2 is just one good raid, and that's it. And Mythic Dungeons. So yeah, that's it. That's what we get for a €50 expansion. Big disappointment for me. Let me know in the comments down below. What do you guys think of 6.2? Do you think it's awesome? Do you think it's worthless like I do? Let me know in the comments down below. I'm really curious. Well, this was my video about 6.2. Give my videos a thumbs up if you like it, and subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you guys on the next video. This is Dr. in the Dutch guy from Drenthe, signing off and wishing you all a very nice day. Bye guys.